Your earring, am I right?
Wait a second. Yes. Lost it years ago. Where did you find it?
Kaer Morhen, in a bed. You know the one.
Ah, yes. The good old days.
I ever tell you you're beautiful when you blush?
Mm-hmm. Back then, like I said, the good old days. Oh, my favorite earrings. I can wear them again now that I have both. Thanks, Geralt.
So long, Triss. Got a minute?
Of course.
Once you'd left Yen and me on the Isle of Avalon, what happened to you? What did you do?
I traveled through time, space, different worlds. I saw houses of glass, ran with unicorns at the world's end. Even lived in an undersea kingdom for a time.
Freedom. Always had a taste for it.
I still do.
So why'd you return?
It was too much. I almost drowned in it. When everything is possible, it quickly becomes a lot less alluring.
Traveling between worlds. What's it like?
It's nice.
Difficult?
It was at first, but in time it became automatic, like riding a horse.
Bet a lot of mages would love to learn to do it.
I'm certain they would. But Avalak claims they've neither the knowledge nor talent. He spent 4 centuries learning to do it, yet can still only find and pass through pre-existing portals. I go wherever I please, whenever I please.
Eridan's located you time and again. How's that work?
When I pass between worlds, I create a kind of shockwave. Anyone properly trained can sense it. That's how Avalak explains it, at any rate. He can do it too.
So you shouldn't actually ever use your power.
It's not like that. The impulse is stronger the longer my voyage. On short hops, the disturbance is practically imperceptible.
I should go.
All right, we'll talk later.
Help protect Ciri from the Wild Hunt, and the Emperor will grant you amnesty.
I hope we can trust you.
You can.
What of Fringilla?
That I don't know, but I shall take it up with him.
You barely said hello and you're already plotting something.
It's clearly in our nature.
I hear right? You convinced the Emperor to pardon them?
Provided they help us defend Ciri.
Got a hard time believing Emperor would go in for a deal like that.
If you can't believe it, don't. I don't need you to.
Bit about Fringilla. What was that? Triss told me you couldn't contact her.
Perhaps because she sits in the Emperor's dungeon, chained in Dimeritium. At least that's what Rita implied.
How's Rita know? Barely got out of prison herself.
She spoke to Fringilla before they imprisoned her. Fringilla said that the Emperor had summoned her, and she'd explain why after the meeting. No one's heard from her since.
Thought this kind of drama only happened around Radovid.
I don't like it. That was not our deal. When it's all over, I'll need to have a candid discussion with the Emperor. Come, they're all waiting for us.
Well, what is it?
No need to thank me, Philippa. Always glad to save your ass. You're welcome.
You stood to gain. That is why you saved me.
Way back when, did you really send assassins after Dijkstra?
You believe I do not remember we were once lovers?
Maybe it's just me, but I think you'd consider that in itself to be reason enough. Actually, I've long wondered why you parted. Quarreled even.
You see, Geralt, there are those who keep politics separate from their private lives, and those who do not.
Which one was Dijkstra?
The more boring of the two.
Farewell. How are you feeling?
Better. I thank you. If you'd not arrived in time, things might have ended considerably worse. I am your debtor.
Thank Yennefer. It was her idea, her plan. Thought Margarita Loantil would be among the last to get nabbed by witch hunters.
Were it dependent solely on me, of course I would have. But you forget I had my students to consider. I knew the hunters would eventually reach Aretusa. It was but a matter of time. So when I heard Triss was organizing escapes to Kavir, I saw no reason to hesitate. I gathered my novices and we rode here to Novigrad. Sadly, we were caught and thrown in Dayrod before I could contact Triss.
Didn't see any other sorceresses in there with you?
Because they'd already been executed. Burned. Alive. One after the other. The most talented girls in the north. Radovid was saving me for last.
If you're here, what's become of Aretusa?
The day I arrived in Novigrad, I received a message from Viruta Ikati. A short, curt note. School overrun by Redanians. The libraries burned. Handful of pupils fled with Nina Vivero. The rest are dead. It is over.
No reaction from the council? The conclave?
Do you jest? They asked Radovid to intervene, just after he'd appointed them.
Farewell, Rita.
Yes, Geralt?
Margarita any better?
I managed to accelerate tissue regeneration. She's feeling much better. In fact, we must bring Eredin here as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'm afraid these sorceresses of yours will start fighting amongst themselves.
Charming world you and Elle have got. Could easily fall in love with the place. Tell me, how do you do it? Sit around playing flute, painting rutting unicorns in gorgeous landscapes, building ornately sculpted towers? And then you murder us, without batting an eye, without a hint of guilt. How?
Do you humans feel guilt when you murder Enshe elves? Or dwarves? Or dryads? We are the same. Simply because we both firmly believe others are inferior.
Tell me something more about Caranthir. Know him well?
Know him? I reared him.
Raised, don't you mean?
No, Geralt. I began shaping him long before he was born. For centuries, I brought together pairs of elves manifesting certain abilities, those able to manipulate time and space. He is the result of these efforts. Caranthir, a golden child. Golden child who grew up to be a criminal.
You imprisoned Ciri the first time you met her. Now you protect her while fighting against your own kind. Quite an about-face.
First of all, I did not imprison her. She found me. It was her destiny.
Yeah, sure. Get to the second of all. Why are you helping her?
Because she is a danger. A mortal one. You look at her and see a human, a ward, a daughter even. I look and see the Elder Blood. A power that can destroy the world. A power that must be kept from Eredin's power-addled hands at all costs. Admittedly, our motives differ. Yet in spite of that, we share a goal. So you would be wise to trust me. Or at least try.
From the look of things, pretty soon Ciri won't need your help anymore.
Nor yours.
True. She'll do whatever she wants, and I'll support her. What about you? Ready to let her live her own life?
I shan't force her to do anything if that's your question.
So long.